Welcome back to another edition of the Pitch Putt and Puff podcast. My name is Roger, aka RGB. Got a special edition here for you today. This episode is brought to you by 420 Bliss, located on Hoosick Street in Troy, New York. Shout out to Ty and the rest of the crew up there. Also want to give out shout out to the Golfer Gang Network. Bunch of new subscribers on there. So if you're a podcast and you're looking to listen to some golf podcasts, that's the place to find them. Shout out to Mulligans and Hackers for joining the team recently, the newest edition. But today I got a group. I got my man Shane on from Gimme Gang Golf. What's up, Shane? How you been, buddy?
I'm doing good, man. Glad to be here. Thanks for having me on.
Cool. Yeah, man. We've been trying to link up for a little while. Both been pretty busy and schedules colliding and
Mm.
stuff. But glad to have you on. Um,
Yes,
just want
sir.
to give the listeners a little bit about yourself. Tell us how you got into golf, and we'll go from there.
Well, first started playing probably when I was like 6 or 7. My dad was actually an assistant superintendent at a little 9-hole muni course in a town called American Falls, Idaho.
Okay.
And so I kind of had the tale of two cities. I grew up in Austin, Texas, and when I was with my mom, I skateboarded most of the time. Now my mom would have bent over backwards for me, but I didn't want to ask a whole lot about. Golf's kind of an expensive sport. And so I skated back in Texas, and when I would go up north with my dad, I golfed for free because he was the superintendent, and he eventually worked his way up to the general manager of another course nearby. And that was actually my first job, mowing fairways, the tees and
Nice.
fringes, and weed eating around trees and stuff like that. And that's kind of where the love of golf kind of started.
Okay.
And so that was kind of you know, the background, like the ethos of the company is from those times in my life, and what I kind of learned from my dad out on the course. You know,
Gotcha.
um,
Yeah, because your story, I looked into you guys a little bit before I had you on, and tell us a little bit about your mission of what you guys are doing, because it's a really
yeah,
cool concept. I mean, I wish more people would get on board of what you guys are trying to do. Like, go ahead and talk about it.
yeah. So kind of piggybacking back off of the municipal golf courses and things. You know, we, especially down here in Austin, we kind of have an issue with that right now. Like post COVID, there was a huge population boom down here. Like everybody and their dog was moving out to Austin, and
Yep.
we don't have too many municipal courses. Like right off the top of my head, I think we have 6, and one of them is like a 9-hole walking course. It's called Morris Williams, and it's actually the old Austin Country Club, kind of where Ben Crenshaw and Harvey Pinnick and them like kind of learned how to play.
Okay.
And right now, Lions Municipal, which is like one of the oldest courses in Austin, is like kind of under fire. With the population boom, there's a lot of developers trying to take over that land and build high rises or whatever they're trying to do on it. So
Sure.
Ben Crenshaw kind of is a kind of the figurehead of this nonprofit called Save Muni down here, and it's a fundraising nonprofit that's basically lobbying to help protect the courses down here. And in turn with that, we also give 2% of our proceeds to a organization called Youth on Course, which
Hmm.
helps underserved kids in underserved communities to get tee times for $5 or less. So
Oh wow.
we're trying to preserve golf, because those are the you get into business to and to be a successful business, in my mind, you need to solve a problem, right? And
Right.
those are the problems that I see. Is like we tried to answer 3 problems with the inception of Gimme Gang. Is we want to preserve the public courses, particularly the affordable municipal courses. We want to
Hmm.
get kids that might not have access to golf to get access to golf, and we want to give people quality products for an affordable price. Something that they can stomach. You know,
Sure.
um, that was kind of the beginning of it. Honestly, was I walked into a PGA Superstore. Somehow it got down to like 20 degrees out down here in
Mm.
Austin. Last winter, and I was playing with some buddies the next day, and I went to PGA to go get a vest. And the first vest, I'm not going to say the brand. I don't want to put them on blast or anything like that, but
Sure.
went up, grabbed the first vest that I saw, and it was $140. Like, and
Mm.
I like I just thought that was crazy. Like
Sure.
that's that's more than a round of golf. For a sleeveless jacket. And
Yeah, exactly. You're still gonna be
so,
cold out there with a
yeah,
vest on.
so
Jeez.
that was kind of the start of it. And Gimme Gang, the name was my dad and I's like old scramble team name. And my friends and I started using it. We made some shirts, and people
Yep.
started asking about it, and the ball just got rolling from there.
That's
And
all it takes, man. It's
here,
really just putting your mind to it and start grinding on something. That's really
yeah,
how you get
hmm
it off the ground.
yeah, just kind
Really.
of deciding that we wanted to do it, and here we are. Been in business about a year. We just
Okay.
got back from the PGA show,
Nice.
and learned a lot out there. It was pretty cool, hanging with the big dogs out there,
Sure. Sure.
But yeah, it was an eye-opening experience for sure.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, because I've had a couple guys actually from Texas on.
Mhm,
Recently, my buddy Neil, who's the general manager for Shakertons.
mhm,
They're located mostly in the Fort Worth, Dallas Fort Worth area. He
mhm.
came on and did some Super Bowl picks. The guy's a sharp, man. Everything he said came true, literally. And then I had Ben from Golf Roots on. So
Okay.
he was down at the PGA event. I think it was a week or so prior. I had him on, and he was talking about that a little bit. That looked like
Mhm.
a great time from what I seen on Instagram and YouTube and such.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's kind of overwhelming. Like when you walk in there, I mean, just the sheer, you know, it's almost like walking into like a college football game or something. Like the pageantry of it was just crazy. Like especially like day one, they had like live bands playing in the entry to the convention center, and like you're just like, oh, like yeah, just the sea of people when you're getting set up. You kind of don't know what to expect, and then day one when the doors open, it's just flooded with people, and you're like, oh, you know you're in the show now.
This is it.
Like,
Here now.
yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
So with the organization you guys donate to, what was it again?
Youth on Course and Save Muni.
Now is that just like locally down in the Texas area? Is that something like everybody can put like donate to and stuff to help local areas?
Save Muni is local to Austin, but Youth on Course has partner courses all around the United States.
Okay,
And yeah, they're a nationwide not for profit, and they're doing something really great. They work really closely with First Tee, but they aren't First Tee. Like
okay.
First Tee kind of teaches kids like how to play the game. They've set up like their own leagues and stuff.
Mhm.
And like kind of the reason why we decided to go with Youth on Course was because, after talking to some of the people with Youth on Course, when I was vetting, I knew I wanted to give back, but I
Sure.
didn't know what direction. I knew I wanted it to be with youth golf, but I kind of did some vetting of different organizations. What I liked about Youth on Course was that they're partnering with municipal courses to help them they're filling tee times, even though it's for $5 or less, but like empty tee times.
Sure.
And these kids are getting like matched up, and they're just going and playing. And that's kind of how I grew up. Like
Yeah.
my dad, I went out with my dad and just played with his friends. And you learn a lot. You learn some people that maybe you want to emulate, and maybe some people that you don't want to emulate.
Absolutely.
You got to take the good with the bad. And I think it's really cool that they kind of allow kids to kind of like make their own decisions and make their own determinations about the type of golfer they want to be, the type of person they want to be.
Mhm.
It's not fed to them.
Yeah, and you can learn so much from playing with other people too. Like when I first started, I've only been playing 6 years.
Yeah.
I tried back in high school, but I didn't have the time commitment playing other sports
Hmm.
to be a good golfer. So I'd say 6 years I've been into it, but like playing competitive and playing with other guys and learning like, all right, this one guy, we have this one particular hole at our course. It's the fourth hole. It's an uphill green. It's a very difficult green to land. Well, this guy
Hmm.
hits the ball at the hill and like bumps and runs it. I'm
Yeah.
like, shit, let me try that. So I started
Yeah.
doing it. Now I'm not sculling it across the green anymore. It's getting up there and trickling on, and I'm in play. I'm like, wow,
Hmm.
all right. Like little things like that. And as a young golfer, if you're going to be serious about it, the amount of knowledge you can take from different people along the way to turn yourself into a real good golfer later stages in life.
Oh yeah, and like of all sorts of skill levels too. Like There
Yeah.
was a regular at my dad's course. His name was Charles Erickson, and he was like a rocket scientist. Like, he worked for this place called Simplot Fertilizer, which was right down the road from my dad's course, and he was actually like a scientist that came up with the formulas for these fertilizers. Like I said, he was out of this world smart,
Okay.
and he would show up onto the course. He had a membership, and he would play the eighth hole, which was right next to his work, with one club. He would like go pick out one club and just
Yeah.
play that hole on like his lunch break, and then come back. But he had the worst slice that you've ever seen. He was aiming 30, 40 yards right, and it was, going back to the fairway. But I learned a lot of swing changes from Charles. Like, he couldn't
Yeah.
do them, but he could teach you, and
Right.
he knew about the game. I just don't think that his body allowed him to do,
Correlated to the course.
to practice what he preached, but,
Yeah. Absolutely.
um, there's, all the sarcasm that I picked up from on like men's night at my dad's course, like those are times like I'll never forget. And I don't want a kid to ever, to not be able to experience those things because of something like they don't have the financial ability to do it.
Oh
You know,
yeah. I mean, so
that's
literally, I mean, I'm 40 years old. I got a
mm,
6-year-old kid, and when I first started, she was pretty much just born, and finances
mhm,
at the time didn't really. Luckily, I got a membership at the course that I
mhm.
play at now. But prior to that, to go play 3 times a week and get good at it, you're spending $200
Yeah.
just to sit there and get good, and that's not even including a halfway decent set of clubs.
Yeah, that was kind of the thought too, is that, like COVID, there was the big golfing boom too, is the perfect, social distancing sport.
Yep, it's
A
perfect.
lot of
Yeah,
people got into it, even if you're getting some used clubs. Even with used clubs, you're looking at a grand easy,
yeah,
between the clubs, the bag, balls,
yeah.
all the stuff that you need. And then, this guy's going to walk over in the PGA store and go find $140 vest, like,
That's crazy.
and, I don't really, you don't want to beat up these guys. I think that a lot of golf companies are kind of missing the mark with that. Like,
Mhm.
we're getting a little greedy. We're putting profits before people, and it's like, do we really need to be charging people $100 for a polo? I don't
Right.
I don't think you need to. And people want to look good, but there's
Has
guys
to.
like you and me who have kids who are working day jobs, who are trying to make it work. And those are kind of the people that we're after with Gimme Gang. We're trying
Yep.
to speak to that audience.
Mhm. And that's a phrase everybody
Mhm.
uses on a Sunday playing golf. That's a gimme. That's a gimme.
Yeah.
That's a gimme. And
Yeah.
you guys putting the gimme gang to it, I mean, it's perfect, man. I really like that it's catchy. Same
Mhm.
thing I try to do just with the pitch putt off, just try to make something catchy that someone's gonna remember when they see it. That's all.
Yeah.
What it really comes
Yeah, I
down
mean,
to.
I was pretty dumbfounded when I applied for the trademark that it wasn't taken.
Yeah, that's crazy. I actually have to start looking into doing that now that we're with the
Yeah.
network and everything. There's a bunch of business stuff that I didn't plan on getting into that I gotta
Yeah,
start getting into
I'll
with
give you advice though. Go get like a trademark attorney for the first time though. Because I applied for it on my own the
yeah,
first time, and it did not go well. And it's $250
okay.
to do it yourself. It was like 800 to do it with a lawyer, and it was way worth it to just get a trademark attorney from the jump. Like,
Okay, all the loose ends for you right off the rip, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, they'll let you know what's up.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, who comes up with your guys' styles and stuff like that for your clothing?
I actually designed all of them myself.
Oh, did you
So
really?
yeah, I did. And I do not have a design background. I was in accounting for 8 years, and I was formerly the assistant business manager for the athletic department at the University of Houston, actually,
Okay,
and did that for a couple years. Came back home. My wife decided to go get her master's in education, and we moved back to Austin from Houston,
okay,
and worked with my dad for a little bit, and then now I'm kind of in the wind turbine industry and doing this. But I have a business background, and then but I've been a skateboarder most of my life. I kind of have an eye for like what I like, and
Sure.
kind of trying to mold those two worlds together. Of
Yep.
skateboarding and art meets golf.
Sure.
And kind of the streetwear kind of look. I was inspired a lot by skateboarding and hip hop and
Yeah.
things like that growing up,
Yeah.
and trying to bring that into the golf space. There's room for guys like us.
Oh, absolutely, man. That's the
Yeah.
thing. Like we're like the group of guys we play with, the Pitch Putt and Puff crew.
Hmm.
It's like I got dudes. I mean, a couple of my buddies we play, 3, 4 times a week. Then I got a couple of retired guys. I got my man Fairway Mike. This guy's
Hmm.
70 years old. He's at the golf course every morning, 5:30. As soon as the sun comes up, he's out
Hmm.
there. We take all the balls we find on the course with the scuffs and everything in them. We put them in a
Yeah.
bucket and we hand them to him because we know he's going to go hit him in the field another
Hmm.
300 times. And half the times
Yeah.
he comes back 2 days later, I need to fill my bucket again because he don't feel like going to chase him. But like we got guys like that, and they're all doing the same thing we're doing now. The best thing about Fairway, 70 years old, used to
Hmm.
listen to classic rock or whatever. So I've always played hip hop. Now you mentioned hip hop.
Hmm.
I've always put on 90s hip hop in the cart. It's been my thing, just jamming out old school hip hop. I
Hmm.
hop in the car with him one day. He's like, yo, man, I love this song. It's like Dr. Dre something or going back to Cali or something like that. And
Yeah.
now this guy's 70 years old. He pulls up in a parking lot and he's bumping Big E or Cypress Hill or having a good
That's
time.
awesome. Yeah, I
No
saw
one
you when you posted
cares.
the other day, and it had like Jada Kiss on there, and that's when I shot you that message. I was like, "Oh,
Yep,
you're a
yep.
hip hop head too, okay?"
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we actually had a nice little setup prior to when I first started the podcast. A buddy of mine has a podcast studio up
Mhm.
below a sneaker store, and he's got the recording studio for the rappers and everything else. So that's where I think that video was taken. He did that video for me, but that
Okay.
was my setup. Right now, I'm currently working out of my buddy's basement most of the time when I'm not in
Yeah,
my office.
I'm in my office, and the reason why I'm facing my desk is because since we came back from the PGA show, my office is a disaster right now. We drove all the way back from Orlando, and I just kind of threw everything back in here, and we
I
kind of
bet.
gotta you know get the house in order a little bit, but
Mhm.
you know.
Now, how did you guys like in the first years of the business going? How's it been going for you?
It's been going pretty well, we're still, scratching and clawing, trying to make sales. The the you know the attire space for golf is really flooded right now. I mean, I'm sure on your algorithms you can see a new one like every other day,
Oh
right?
yeah.
So it's trying to figure out a way to differentiate yourself,
Hmm.
in this ocean of golf apparel, and we have some big plans coming up. We got a couple things in the work that we really think is going to kind of bump us up to that next level. I can't really talk about them right now, but
Yeah.
you'll be seeing them. We got a partnership coming up with a little media conglomerate down in the Houston area. We're
Nice.
actually doing an event at a Dave and Buster's there in Houston that will benefit some kids in foster care down there.
Okay.
We're a table sponsor over there, so we're gonna
Mhm.
go do that, and they're gonna do a live podcast down there and stuff. So
Awesome.
really just trying to partner. I guess the long and short of it, what I can say is that we're trying to partner with people that are like-minded like us, who are trying to give back
You
at the
bet.
same
Yeah.
time. That's kind of the common denominator, and what we're kind of looking for with the people that we're working with is it's not about the dollars. It's about the relationships that you're building with people, and like how you can impact the people around you and the community around you, and particularly the youth around you. That's something I'm pretty passionate about. My wife is a principal at a
Yeah.
elementary
Yeah.
school, and so we try to do that as much as possible.
Yeah. So I mean, to be honest with you, that's the reason I even reached out to you guys in the beginning. I
Hmm.
read your mission statement on Instagram on your website, and I was
Hmm.
like, wow, these guys are different. This isn't like every other clothing brand. Like I've had a couple other guys on. Like one guy did Acorn Hills. He does something a little bit different with his tag, where you can plant the tag and it grows flowers, and just something different, kind of that
Oh,
kind of
that's
thing.
cool. That's
And then I
cool.
looked at you guys, was like, oh, these guys are they're not doing it for themselves. They're looking to give back because all your stuff, I haven't seen any of it physically, but it looks
Hmm.
quality material. All the designs legit. So shout out to you for coming up with those ideas on your own.
I, I appreciate that, man. That was a lot of YouTube, Adobe Illustrator tutorials.
Believe me, I know. Just to get the RSS
Yeah,
feed and for the podcast thing, I spent 3 days on
yeah,
YouTube.
yeah.
But that's the reason I even reached out to you guys in the beginning was these guys are
Mhm.
trying to be different. And that's what I'm looking for, something different to get people, people don't know about you guys yet. You only been around for a year. Upstate New
Mhm.
York, they definitely don't know about you. We got 40,
No.
50 golf courses up here that people play all the time. This
Mhm.
thing is podcast thing slowly starting to grow. So I'm hoping I can get the name out for you in the upstate New York area. And like I said, I have some listeners down in Texas. So spread
Yeah,
the wealth
man.
down there, man.
Yeah, we appreciate the love, like we really do. We're in a couple stores down here now. Shout out to Michael Travis at Riverside. He really gave us our first shot, and you know, Riverside's been a big partner for us. If you saw our promo video, he let us shoot that out there, and
Yes.
didn't charge us a dime for it. Was just into the mission and what we were trying to do. So shout out Michael. I really, really do appreciate
That's
him.
dope.
And there's a lot of good people down here who are like-minded. They want to see these courses thrive and like I was saying earlier about Lions, like it not only is it important to the golfers here, but like it was the first integrated golf course in Texas. So like the NAACP has kind of gotten involved trying to preserve it. There's a lot of ins and outs going on right now, and especially like Ben Crenshaw and them learned how to play there, man. Like, yeah, how cool is that? Like some of the
Right.
godfathers of golf. And you know
Sure.
there's there's just a lot of history and a lot of a lot of passionate people down here that don't want to see those
Mhm.
things go away. You know?
And that's what we see nowadays too. A lot of history just getting wiped off literally just knocked around and buried and not, just
Mhm.
ruined. You got to keep
Yeah.
stuff like that for the youth to know what the hell's going on 40,
Hmm.
50 years from now for sure. But yeah,
Yeah,
so
and
like I said, man, I really appreciate you guys coming on. What are you guys looking to do in 2024? What's your big moves besides what you can't talk about? But besides that,
Really, right now we're just trying to get our footing, in the Instagram space. Like I said, we got a couple things in the works that we're shooting for YouTube, and a lot of events here locally. We're also going to be trying to hit the road again, hitting up a lot of these golf expos across the country.
awesome.
Just trying to get the word out and get the mission out and trying to get kids on the golf course again, man. I get stoked when I see kids out there with their parents or by
Yeah.
themselves. Like, I want to see that because I remember what that was. Those are magical times in my life, and I hold them very dear. And I can't wait for kids to, make their own memories like that.
Hmm. My 6-year-old just got her a set of clubs for Christmas, man. I cannot wait to get her out there
Yeah.
this. She's been putting up there in the upstairs. I got one of the little putting greens runs down the hallway. She's up and
Yeah.
down. I put my Pro Vs out, and by the time I bring them to the course, they're all scuffed up. But she had fun with them.
You're
That's
gonna
all that
you're
matters.
gonna always remember that first time when she flushes one out there, and then
Oh
and then
yeah,
she's gonna be
can't
hooked.
wait. Really cannot wait.
Yeah.
So where's the best place for people to find you guys?
Gimme Gang Golf is our Instagram handle. You can also catch us at GimmeGang.com. Feel free to check out our videos. We're really starting to kick up our socials right now. So any love that y'all can give us out there, it means a lot. Even a like or a comment, that's all we need.
That's it.
And if you guys find it in your heart, go out to Youth on Course and maybe donate. Even if it's $5, that's a tea time for a kid.
Right.
Right there. It's one tea time for a kid. You never know. You might get that kid hooked and you might change their life.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna talk to you off record here and look
Hmm.
into that, see what I can do for upstate New York and see if I can get involved in something like that, even if it's not with my brand because of
Hmm.
the puff aspect of it, obviously with the children, but I'm
Hmm.
also working with another podcast, the Upstate Golf Guys, to where
Hmm.
I can push the brand that way and still get them
Yeah.
some recognition. Because
Yeah,
they're
man.
actually trying to reach out to Cape Cod and like the Massachusetts area as well. So
Yeah.
expand the
So
network.
what I can do is I have the director's email,
Hmm.
and I can shoot that to you. Like they have like reps like in the areas, and so they'll be able to tell you like the partner courses. Like we have like 6 partner courses down here, and those are the
Gotcha.
ones that like I try to like work with the most down here, are the partner courses for Youth on Course. and whether it's like we sponsored like a junior clinic one time, like about hot dogs,
Mhm.
for the kids, and like any of those little things, because like a lot of the youth on course kids, they're from Boys and Girls Club or foster homes, or some of the lower socioeconomic areas
Yeah.
within those particular cities.
Mhm.
And like it really it is really like heartwarming whenever you see like them like make a putt, or like
Yeah,
do
absolutely, man.
so yeah, it'll
Getting
change you.
anyway, yeah.
Like,
Well, I mean, there's nothing better than that, especially like just the way things are in the world right now. Giving a kid an opportunity he's never gonna, probably would have never had. Now he's gonna fall in love with something down the
mhm,
road. It's just that is cool in itself, man. So I really, what you guys is doing is really cool. Keep it up, and
mhm.
like I said, any way I can help, I'll definitely help you promote on the social media network.
Yeah.
If you guys got some big release and you want to come back on, or you and another, one of your partners want to hop back on for something, don't hesitate to hit me up. We'll figure it out. We'll get you on here.
Yeah, we're and like kind of off record right here, but we're working on girls and little kids line.
Yeah.
And the only thing about that, man, is like the sizing is really hard to get down. Like,
Yo, dude, I don't even know what size my kid. They grow so
yeah,
fast. You don't know what the hell they wear anyway.
exactly. Like we're trying to figure, because we're pretty small. Like we don't have the ability to go like 2T through like youth large.
Sure,
So we're
sure.
trying to like figure out like what
You could
you know
almost do it. I mean, you might even be better off in that, like, custom order to what they order, and then tell them it's going to be like a 4 week, 3 week turnaround time. So you're not just to
yeah.
start it up.
Hmm. Yeah,
Just an
well,
idea.
we're gonna call that the Gimme Gang Gremlins line.
Nice.
The for the kiddos, and then yeah, we want to do a Gimme Gals line.
Okay.
Um, and then the women are their own. That's another puzzle, man.
Yep. Oh yeah.
What fits
Yeah.
one doesn't fit another one, and so
Exactly.
trying to get that all worked out, but
Mhm.
it's in the works. It's in the works for sure.
Yeah, man. You got a plan. Though. I like where you guys are going with everything. You definitely got a plan, and
Hmm.
the giving back part is really the best part about what you guys are doing. To be honest with you, because you don't see a lot of companies doing that nowadays, especially
Yeah.
small ones.
That's what we think is going to differentiate us, really. And like I'm not trying to really get rich off of this. If I could quit my day job and just do this, that would be sick. But we'll see how it goes. Right now, we're keeping our head above water, and we're just going to keep marching forward.
That's awesome. Like I said, man, I'll be putting an order in soon. I was looking at that Saved by the Bell polo you had up there. That was pretty. That had some flashbacks to my old school 90 days. That was pretty dope. I
Hey,
was going
well,
fast.
what I'll do is I'll set up a discount code for you guys.
Oh, there we go.
We'll do like we'll call it like PPP 20 or something, and
Yeah, man. Whatever.
give your listeners 20% off. And
Awesome.
so I'll get that set up, and I'll shoot you a message on Instagram with whatever it is. Maybe I can come up with something cooler than PPP 20, but
No, whatever works, man. And
yeah,
I'll do another podcast on Wednesday. They'll drop for Thursday, so I'll promote it on there. Whatever the code is.
yeah. All right, man. I appreciate it, man. Roger, right?
Roger. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, Roger, I really appreciate you having me on, man. I appreciate the love and all the support that you're giving me. We really appreciate it on
Yeah, man.
behalf of
That's what I was.
the
Gotta
whole
work
gang over here.
together. These small podcasts and Instagram pages with clothing and all this. It's the only way we're gonna get big is we work together.
Hmm.
So definitely,
Yeah.
I'll probably end up doing a little editing on this,
Mhm.
getting it up by tomorrow, and then please do the same, share it to all your people, and I'll do the same
Yeah.
my way.
Solid. Appreciate you, Roger.
All
Much
right, buddy.
love.
Take care.
All right.